It's Accountex, it's day 2. I'm here with Tim and we are on the stage stand. Tim, this is quite an extravaganza, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at it. It's an amazing vibe. It doesn't feel like Sage to me. Having said that, I've only been here 8 months, but I think it looks fantastic.
Is this your first Accountex?
This is my first Accountex, yeah.
Accountex Virgin?
Not anymore.
No.
Cherry's well and truly broken.
Now, you've got a lot of experienced people on this stand, Tim. When you were coming in, what did they say to you about what you would experience here?
So they told me, and they were absolutely right about this, by the way. They told me it was going to be incredibly busy. They told me it was going to be, a couple of really long days, but they also told me it was going to be a lot of fun. And they told me that we were going to meet like a lot of really interesting people, friends, old and new, and get to be with our community, both colleagues and customers.
Yeah. And you've done that. You've got the comfortable shoes.
Yeah. Trainers are a must.
Absolutely right. Tim, this is a big investment. You've probably got the biggest stand here. It doesn't come cheap, we know that. How do you go about measuring how successful your presence here has been?
I think, well, for me, I'm a social advocacy manager, so my thing is all about the conversations that are being had by accountants. Right. So for me, the return is, are people talking about us online? Are people saying, and good, bad, ugly, but have we made an impression? Because as you know, everybody's got something to say here, everyone's got something to sell. Yeah. You're launching a book, you've got a new proposition, you've got new tech, maybe you've got a nice shiny new logo, I don't know. But for me, the success is, are we part of that conversation? And are we responding to that conversation? Are we getting engaged in that conversation, rather than just letting people sort of control the narrative?
Yeah, and it is. It's not just being part of it, but it is owning the narrative and dictating what people are talking about. And you want to be in that position, don't you?
Well, I mean, hopefully, rather than dictating, I would say influencing. And hopefully, if we brought the right energy, if we brought the right. We've got good tech, we've got a good proposition, we've got a great looking brand now. If we're doing that right, then hopefully people will talk about us, and hopefully people talk about us in the way that we want, which is to say that, do you know what? It's fresh, it's new, it's something worth hearing about.
Accountants ready for something fresh, because as a breed they're not known for their embracing of innovation, are they?
Do you know? Well, I think it's funny. So as I said, I joined Sage at the end of last year, and my uncle's an accountant, but he's retired now. And my impression of accountants was probably what you would think, right? I have to say, we work with so many who are absolutely what you would break that mold. They're not like that. And I feel like progressive, digital first, social, young, diverse, really genuinely interesting. And I have to be honest with you, I love it. It's inspiring. The stories particularly like the micro and the small, sole traders, entrepreneurs. I absolutely love that. But also the bigger firms too, so entrepreneurial. And I feel like that's a side of accountancy that a lot of people don't see. Yeah. And I feel like, again, you didn't ask me this, but if I could say what a big win with it, if we could share that story wider so that people understand that it isn't perhaps that traditional. Yes, that still exists, but there is a broader church, so we say.
Yeah, definitely. And the kind of conversations you've been having, I would imagine you've got existing customers coming to talk to you. They haven't seen you for a few years.
Yeah.
New customers. But also talk to me about strategic partnerships. You've got some competition in the room, but a lot of fintech vendors around here. How important is it that you talk to them as well?
Absolutely, and I think, that's a great point, because it touches on the fact that when I said the community, I'm thinking about, yes, colleagues, the team we've got here.
The fintech ecosystem.
Thank you, that's a much better way of saying it. But yeah, the broader community, that's absolutely a part of it, and I feel like, and that ecosystem, the way that's all joined up and the way that it all works well together, for me that's kind of what's made this site quite special. Seeing those interactions play out face to face is amazing, because you see it online, but it's different when you're in the room together, and those conversations that happen are amazing. Yeah.
And give us a sense of the scope of this as an operation. How many people are we looking at working for Sage right now on this, Tim?
On this, I think we've got I think we came quite mob-handed. I think we've got a good 50, I think, but the key thing is, I have to say, this was a really broad thing, is you had to have a role to come here. This isn't come to Accountex to be seen, not to be
sort of, hey, jolly, is it?
It's not a jolly, it absolutely is not a jolly. This is, you had to have a role, and it doesn't matter whether you're the exec, so we had our global CTO, Chief Technology Officer, Aaron Harris here yesterday. He did a keynote. He's not coming, he did come over from America to just see the shiny new logo in situ. Down to me, somebody who's obviously doing social. I'm on the Twitter, I'm on the I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, do at us. Yeah. But genuinely, it's you have to have a role. So it sounds like a lot of people, but everybody's out here because look around you, it's so busy. And I tell you what, we weren't overstaffed. I can guarantee you that.
And there's a lot goes into the design. What do we do with the space?
Yeah.
Because it's a blank area, isn't it? Someone's got to think all of this up.
Yeah.
do I get a sense as well, Tim? I know you've not done Accountex before, but there's been a little bit waiting in the budgets because we've not done Accountex last couple of years, so we're going all out this time. We're coming back with a bang.
I mean, coming back with a bang, I think you absolutely nailed it. You're absolutely right. I think, I mean, shout out to my colleague Cassie, who helped Imagineer all this kind of stuff.
The brains issue behind.
I mean, it looks very bougie, and there's a reason for that, because that's actually the seesaw out the front. That's the brainchild of someone who's clearly, coming from a different angle. Like, this idea of balancing is very, very cool. But I think you're absolutely right. I think, for me, it has been huge, but I'm really interested in what other vendors have done with the space. It's really interesting what you can do with this space. So yes, we've got the big stand, and I think we've made a really interesting use of the space. We've got the great merch. We've got enough pods to show people the products. We've got the theatre. Other people have done different things, and I think it's right or wrong. I think it's really interesting to see how creative it's been.
Yeah, and Sage, international company, it's competitive out there. Your competition are in this room. How confident are you that you're backing the right horse here and you're in the right space, the right company?
Again, you're probably can I interest you in a TikTok? But genuinely, my opinion is absolutely. I have to say, when they told me what the new proposition was coming into this idea of the human and the digital, unparalleled support in the UK for accountants, doubling down this idea of it's not just about good tech, it's good humans, it's that connection, adding that back in, and making sure that this idea of membership, or you get this exclusive access to content, that's webinars, all the sort of the playbooks that we have, all the information that you need to be successful for your clients, for your practice. Doubling down on that for me felt absolutely right, because I do a lot of social listening to the conversations online, and the amount of feedback that we get positively from our community saying, I love my practice success manager, I love the support that I get from Sage. That's what we're hearing. So the fact that it's almost like we planned it, but the idea that we're doubling down on that and saying that's where we win by having the best people as well as the best tech, I love that.
Sage Intact is creating a buzz as well.
Sage Intact, yeah, and that was why it was great to have Aaron here yesterday. I mentioned Aaron before because obviously that was his company, and now he's our Chief Technology Officer. Got Emily over here and Fabiana talking about it. Yeah, lots of people asked about Intact, and people who seem to be really, really excited and want to know more.
A couple more questions, Steve.
Yeah.
What skills, attributes do you feel accountants are going to need over the next few years to stay relevant and competitive? This is challenging.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I do feel like it's kind of rude for me to say that, given that I'm so new to the industry, but I guess my thing would be
observations.
Observations. Yeah, so coming in new, and I've listened a lot in the last 6 months, and I feel like it seems like you have to be adaptable to change. Obviously we know MTD, change is coming. You cannot bury your head in the sand. And I think that it is about going out and reaching out to get that help. There's lots of people here selling, right? But we came here to support, not to sell. And I feel like, and that's, of course, that sounded like a bit of a line, didn't it? But genuinely, that's the vibe. And I think we can help. We can help with MTD. If you listen to Chris Downing on the stand today talking about MTD, there is nothing, and Lois as well, there's nothing that they don't, and Gertie as well, shouting them all out, but there's nothing they don't know about MTD, it seems, apart from what isn't known yet, shout out to HMRC. But I feel like there have to be adaptable to change. So it's a very long answer to quite a simple question there, but yeah, being adaptable to change, being open to learning new things. And I think obviously, if you're not currently embracing the cloud, which I know a lot of people are, that is an absolute must, right? It's got to be a must.
Yeah. And accountants have shown themselves to be more adaptable than we thought they might be over the last few years. That's good. Last question, Tim. What excites you most about the journey that Sage are on for the next few years?
What excites me the most? I mean, obviously, you can tell I'm quite an excitable person. Quite an excitable guy, right?
Absolutely.
But I think what excites me most is the idea of do you know what? What I love is that I've joined the company, I know about the history about Sage and maybe things that happened before with previous cloud offerings and things like that. Yeah. Genuinely competitive cloud software. And then we did the refresh. So we got the software up to snap,
cloud, but you're doing it right now, aren't you?
Doing it right now, and then we did this. So I feel like now, and then the doubling down on this proposition, this idea of do you know what, the human and the digital, that marriage, and I think, and also last year with Sage for Accountants launch, we made a commitment to accountant bookkeepers in the UK that we're investing in you, we're listening, and we're here for you.
So you're the heroes of the story, is what you're saying.
They're the heroes of the story, and if you see when you see our stuff, the accountants will feature in our comms a lot more, in our marketing more, in our messaging more, and in our roadmap a lot more, and that's really important. That's what excites me, putting them at the heart, but genuinely. I know it's easy to say put them at the heart, but meaning it.
Well, some vendors have tried to bypass accountants, haven't they, and get to their clients and their data, and it's not a smart move.
I mean, completely agree, and I think that's us saying that's not what we're doing. Yeah. We're actually the opposite. And like I said, we've had people wanting, everyone wanted to come to Accountex. not just from the accountants division, if you like, because it's just like we know how important it is to us and to the UK.
Well, Tim Compton, that's been brilliant. Thanks for talking.
I hope it was good. Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks so much. Cheers. Thank you.